Hair transplant results do not look unnatural. In fact, they are the most natural results you can see. No, hair transplant surgeries are not painful. All hair transplant surgeries are done under local anesthesia. Some patients may feel mild pricks of local anesthesia injection, which are hardly very few. The best part with the hair transplant is that it's not painful before or after the procedure also. So at Monaris and in the AHT hair transplant, we do not give any painkiller before, during or after the procedure. It's a myth that hair transplants are not permanent. No, that's wrong. Hair transplants are permanent. Life of a transplanted hair depends on the life of the hair from the donor area. So if the hair on the donor area will last till 80 years of age, the transplanted hairs will also last till 80 years of age. The only change you can see over a period of years is the loss due to aging. So if some of your donor area hair is lost due to aging, you may lose some of the hair from the transplanted area also. So life of the hair does not depend on transplant or the doctor or the clinic. It depends on the life of your donor area hair. No, it's a myth that hair transplant gives instant results. Hair transplant is a process which takes almost a year for complete results. Once the hairs are transplanted, these follicles grow for a month, they fall once, and then they start growing after 3 to 4 months. After 4 months, every month you can see 15 to 20% hair coming back. So complete results takes approximately 1 year and up to 18 months in many patients. Men are the most common who face the baldness, but nowadays women also face baldness. So hair transplant can be done even for women if they are suffering from androgenetic alopecia. Patients with medical conditions like alopecia areata, cicatricial alopecia, lichen planus are not the right candidate for hair transplant. 90% of the or 95% of the patients are men, but women do get hair transplant and we commonly do them. Hair transplant can be done at any age. Patients starting from the age of 23 till 75 can go for a hair transplant procedure. It's safe and effective. The only condition which a patient should go for a hair transplant should have a decent donor area. The hair follicles are extracted from the donor area and they are implanted on the bald area. So if the donor area is good, age is not a criteria for a hair transplant. Yes, the transplanted hair will turn white as your normal hairs do. So transplanted hair has the same genetic characteristics as your original hair. So if a hair which is taken out from the donor area is white, it will grow as a white hair. And if a transplanted hair which is taken out from the donor area is black, it will grow as a black hair. Also, these hairs, the transplanted hairs or the non-transplanted hair, they will anyway turn grey with age. No, hair transplant will never cause infertility. There is no evidence, no studies and no proof that hair transplant has ever caused infertility. Infertility can be caused by many other factors like smoking, drinking, hormonal imbalances. But hair transplant is something which will never cause any side effect like infertility or problem with conception or any other issues. You can shave your head after a hair transplant. In latest techniques of hair transplant like AHT or FUE, the scars are not visible on the scalp. But in the older techniques like FUT, there is a visible linear scar on the scalp. But still, there is no restriction in shaving or doing any other procedures on the scalp after any of the transplants. No, the weather do not affect hair transplant. A patient can get a hair transplant in any weather, whether it's summers or it's winters. But patient has to be careful post hair transplant that they do not expose themselves to extreme weathers like going outside in sun for long hours or in extreme cold for many hours. Otherwise, transplant can be done in any weather, as most of the transplant you can shampoo next day and you can even go out to work next day onwards. Transplant has no effect on the eyes. There may be temporary swelling or redness after the hair transplant with the older techniques or older FUEs, but with the new latest AHT technique and the newer generation hair transplant, you don't even get swelling after the procedure. So in general, there is no effect on the eyes after a hair transplant. So it's safe to get a hair transplant without bothering about any side effects.